My name is Dr. Navaneethan Arjuman. You can call me Nava. I'm actually representing Faculty of Computing and Informatics. Okay. Basically, I'm here to discuss today about developing the next generation. So the evolution of okay. Okay. So the topic today is the evolution of connectivity. Yeah? We are now talking about the next generation internet. Okay, IP, we know that IPv4 has been the earliest days of internet that we're using. As of 2011, IPv4 already start running out. So the whole idea we are moving to IPv6. Do you know why we moved to IPv6? Anyone? Any wild guess? Maybe let's do some interactive session. All are monotonous. Why do you think we moved to IPv6? Any answers in the floor? No answers. Okay. Simply because we run out of IPv4. Because 2 to the power of 32-bit can give you about 4 billion IP. So our whole population, how much? How much is the whole population? How much is the whole population? Fine. Lack of knowledge. Okay. We got 8 billion people. Almost 7, sorry, not 8 billion, about 7 plus. So the other day I was shocked when I was in India. You know what is the population in India? Losing out to China now. I mean, they're winning over China. 1.4 billion. That's huge. Used to be 1 billion. In Asia Pac, we hold the highest population. We got about 3 billion people here in the Asia Pac. So that's why we run out of IP address first. Of course, I don't want to go into more detail about that, because when you attend the training IPv6, I can talk about why IPv6, what is the issue with IPv4, what was the issue, why we moved to IPv6, and what is currently we are talking. So currently what we are talking now, IPv4 run out, we are moving to IPv6, because IPv6 to the power of 128, how much is that? How much is the mathematics? How many address we have? 2 to the power of 128 gives you 340 undecillion. All of you would have heard million, billion, trillion. Correct or not? But now we are talking about a name term called undecillion. Undecillion means cannot decide what name to be given. Initially, 15 years ago, when we talk about IPv6, we say quintillion. So it no longer use the term quintillion. Now we change it to 340 undecillion address. It means I can give you so much IP address to everyone. So what is the issue with current? Why IPv6? What IPv4? What is the advantages? One important thing today, people want end-to-end connectivity. It means I want to be visible in the internet. The early internet, IPv4, 2 to the power of 4 billion IP address, not visible. Then as internet, because when Dr. Winslow started ARPANET, they never thought the internet can grow leaps and bounds, exponential. Then when IPv4 was rolled out to the world, there's so many people are coming on board, right? So that's what's happened. So initially, when IPv4 rolled out, they never thought the internet can go. But as you go, by 1970s, 80s, this is where the internet was started off. Okay? By 1999, we can see that okay. So by 1999, this is where the IPv6 protocol was started. We are run out of IP address already. So we were using NAT. How many of you familiar with NAT? NAT, yeah, Network Address Translator. And NAT is not a good solution because there's a lot of bottleneck. You cannot do end-to-end. Okay, if you want to do VPN end-to-end, cannot be done because it breaks. Because we in IPv6 we call tunnel mode, right? Router to router is tunnel mode. end device to end device is, we call it transport mode. And this is the real internet today. Why people can hack into our system, security, and all this thing. So Dr. Winsor, which is the father of internet, thought about this. They said we should go to a better IP. So IPv4 was start off, IPv6 is a better fix. So it gives you a large address space and got a lot of things, better security, better routing, and better fragmentation. And quite, I can go and go on. But why the IPv6 more related now? Because Internet of Things. Internet of Things, now so many billion devices are connected. Last time, 5 years ago, I got 20 billion. Now, I don't know how many billions are there, 50 billion, 100 billion. So to make the device visible in the internet, we need IPv6. So that is the reason why. So it comes to industrial IoT. Today, factories are automated, you understand now? Factories are a lot of devices, a lot of sensors, and these sensors must be visible in the internet. Using IPv4, you can't reach them. So you need, if you want IPv4, you still can, but you have to pay double the price or triple the price. You understand or not? Cost is the big thing. So the best way to go forward is go to IPv6. So traditional IPv4 is solved. It is initially on IPv4 for internet, but IPv6 larger pool. The first thing, larger pool of IP address, then can cater for devices coming online. You can host servers. Now with your phone, with IPv6 address, can you check your phone? Are you IPv6 or IPv4? Not sure, right? Just do some testing. I'm connected to the Wi-Fi here. I want to do a testing here. I didn't check. Hope the IPv6. Can you? Okay, hold on. I mean, ping www. I always go everywhere, every hotel. And if you claim you are the best hotel, see IPv4. This hotel is IPv4. Can you switch the screen? Stop my PowerPoint. Okay. Now let me share. Sorry to say, like Grand Hyatt. Okay. Okay. You see? Is it coming? See IPv4. We are talking about latest technology. We Grand Hyatt. I'm not condemning that, but I think we should have IPv6 here. If I switch my phone, okay, just do a little demo. I switch to my Wi-Fi. I don't want to use hotel Wi-Fi. I switch it to my phone. So now I'm connected to my phone. Okay, now I'm pinging. Hopefully my network provides, because I'm roaming here, so I'm not sure whether my roamer, you see? What is this? IPv6. Right? So we are advanced IPv6 network. Correct? Why not you should have IPv6 here? Maybe you can summon the program. We're talking IPv6, but not IPv6. So I can show you a lot of things about this. Okay. So today, IPv6 is the higher order. When you ping Google, if you got IPv6 connectivity, it will show you IPv6. If you got IPv4, it will show you IPv4. Right? So this hotel Wi-Fi is IPv4. Right? Okay, I go back again. So do you understand or not? So today we are talking about IPv6. Okay. Now let me move on. So everyone is moving to IPv6, okay? So Internet of Things is getting big way. This is the digital industry. So what is next gen internet? It's a massive growth connected devices in manufacturing. Everybody talk about 5G. What is 5G? 5G is mean supporting a lot of connectivity in devices. Your pack can have IP, your earring can have IP, your button can have IP, everything you can have IP. So when you have IP, so you can connect the devices on the internet by itself. And this is the real internet, what Dr. Winsor vision, the father of internet. When he developed IPv4, he regretted because he never thought internet will grow as leap and bound. Then he decided on IPv6. When he said IPv6, he is the honorary chair for the IPv6 forum, which I'm part of it. So basically, I report to Winsor. Also, we are running something called Education Logo Program on IPv6. So exhaustion, limitation in scalability. So limited and security. So the current internet is a patch technology. Do you understand what patch technology? When you put a road, every time you take the road, you patch it. You want to put never designed properly. So it's a patch technology. Got problem, you fix it. Got problem, you fix it. Until the header become very heavy. The header become IPv4 header is become very heavy. So couldn't serve. Today, I just mentioned sharing just now. What people industry what they're looking for first is performance, high speed. All right, why you go broadband? On high speed. Correct or not? All right, high speed. Why high speed? We want fast response, big data. Second thing, latency, low latency. Because with low latency, it's more secure. Right? If latency is very low, it's secure. Otherwise, if a high latency, it puts forth attack. The third thing, they need to make sure that service is available, SLA. So all this comes, and moreover, it needs to be cheap. Today, you use AWS, you want to host your application in AWS, you have to pay more. IPv4, you have to pay more. IPv6 is cheaper. So everybody in the world already moving to IPv6. That's the whole idea why we need to go to IPv6. Offers, yeah, better switch off the video. Skip disturbing me. Okay, offers foundation for hyper-connected intelligent industry. Today, new factories, automated factories. In China, okay, you all in China, right? In mainland China, there was hospitals that 100% robot doctors. So they were practicing, everyone is robots. When you go there, this hospital, everything is robot. It runs robot. Just imagine if the robot do operation, robot don't do themselves. There's a human being supposed to do operation, correct, remotely. Now we got a shortage of people. Remember, one of the things, health industry, we cannot have specialists in every town. So if somebody want to operate somebody remotely, instead of doctor flying there, we got 5G connectivity there with the real time 1 millisecond. I can operate the equipment from here. This is where the online ambulance all comes in. This is vision. Autonomous car. Autonomous car, you need 1 millisecond to drive it. Otherwise, you put a brake, you don't reply, accident. Do you understand or not? So this is the issues. So these are the new challenges that we have in 5G. That's what 5G, 6G we're talking about. So IPv6 is definitely a better fit. Okay. So you guys have to learn IPv6. How many of you learn IPv6 here in the school? Have you learned? Which university you're from? Which organization you're from? Yeah. UCLA. UCLA didn't. Are you IT? No, you're not IT. They do definitely teach IT. Yeah. So, any of you are familiar? Have used IPv6 here before? No. All new crowd, all new kids in the block. Anyway, just my message to you: if you don't know IPv6, then there's no job for you out there. If you do not know cloud, there's no job for you. If you don't know slicing, there's no job for you outside. So you want to get a job, like my student, I teach them AWS. I teach database cloud security in the university. So one of my students, they used to learn an IPv4 most of the time. I just joined the university last 2 years, 1 year plus only. So I'm actually championing IPv6 in the university. So most of my projects are IPv6 projects. This particular student went for an interview, and the company is providing all services in cloud. So I was teaching him the real world problem. So he managed to get a job. So this is what we need to do. So we have to make sure everybody goes on IPv6. Learn IPv6, what are the issues? This morning, my student presented, he got a best award. He's AI, IPv6, fragmentation. So I asked him to present. If you never attended the session, it will be very powerful. This is what people are looking at now. So converging OT and information technology. Now we need to make sure the IT work with the OT, right? The OT is operational technology like industries, or automations. So IT has to work. When you want to work, you need to make sure real time, more IPs, visible, end-to-end connectivity, all this required. Real time from machine to sensor robotics. Okay. Use cases. Okay. Today, people don't want to work. TV, 40, 40? Any of you know what is 40? It's a joke, huh? 40 minutes, 40 numbers. Like in Malaysia, we get number, lottery. 40 we call it. But 40 is not lottery here. Talking about dangerous, dirty. People don't want to do any jobs. Any of you want to become farmers here? All want to become IT people. Any of you want to become sweeping? Then who's going to take care of the world? Who's going to collect the rubbish? If everybody want to become IT, everybody become doctor, whatever, who's going to do the rest of the job? Who's going to do it? Robots. Because people now tend to see IT is very fashion. Like my daughter is a medical doctor. I told her, if you know IT, I don't need you as a doctor. Because today, in medical field also, IT. So IT is impacting everything. No more $1 billion, it's $1 trillion and probably $100 billion. Now we only got trillionaire. Billionaire, you heard. Millionaire, normal. Billionaire, you heard. Trillionaire. So people are going for this industry. So if you're in the IT industry, your job is assured. I can tell you, for until the end of the world, until somebody says, I don't want IT, because IT impact every industry, right? So you can use real-time data, machine sensors, IoT, industrial IoT, everything required. Use cases, you can predict maintenance, you can energize optimization. So all use robots. If my brother working in oil and gas in Australia, settled down in Australia. From Malaysia, he become Australian now. He works, makes a lot of money. He has to dig. Today, they use robots. Otherwise, last time, deep divers, they used to fix the problem. Now they send drones to fix the problems. So all this require IP. So what is this is promising the industry? What is this for industry? It means you are more secure. You understand now? Less dangerous. Today, disease is the biggest problem. When COVID hit, what happened? See, now we see all this beautiful Zoom, all these things. Before this, Zoom was not there. Zoom becomes Zoom up in the business, because of what? COVID. COVID has taught us a lot of things. Disaster has taught us a lot of things. Nuclear, Fukushima. Because of Fukushima, the whole energy industry in Japan changed. Now you can buy from any company. Which one is cheaper, you buy from them. Last time, one company controlled everything. And in Japan, all the smart meters are running IPv6. I'm the consultant for the country. So when they move, have you heard about smart meters? Smart meters, energy smart meters, now meters. So through the smart meters, you can connect internet. So there's demand side, there's a big thing. So it's all happening. All this IP. And Japan smart meters works only on IPv6, no longer IPv4. So this is what we are getting now. IPv4, no more relevant. Now Malaysia, like in Malaysia, I'm part of the 100% IPv6 adaptation. There won't be any IP 5 years down the road. US already started. Every country is going single stack. So if you're still learning subnetting in IPv4, you learn IPv4 subnetting, isn't it? Do you know how IPv6 subnetting taking place? Don't know? No job. Simple as that. Because today, all of us study for what? Why you study? Why you want to study? Why you want to study? To get a job. He's right. Where you are studying? Pakistan. Yeah, all of us, we need job. If there's no problem, there's no job for us. Correct or not? No job for me to teach, no job for you to do engineering, no research. Problem always good. When we have problems, always good. So security today, so 4.5 billion IP addresses sufficient global because world population already got to 7 plus. So we need to connect everybody. So definitely IPv6 is the way. And we don't go net. Do you know what is net? Do you know what is net? Net is bottleneck. Like, it's like 10 lane car suddenly going to 2 lane. What will happen? Block. And this is where the packet is bottleneck. So that is NAT technology. So that's why we don't want NAT, because NAT will increase latency, indirectly increase security. So using NAT is not a big solution. So you're going IPv6, definitely end-to-end you can achieve. Okay. All right. Undecilent addresses. Okay, I told you so much. Native end-to-end connectivity. And this is what vision. Today I can send VPN end-to-end. With IPv6, your mobile phone to another mobile phone, totally VPN. Do you know that? And it's built on the header, no need additional devices. If you know IPv6, you can do end-to-end VPN. So you're secure, because today what we want is secure. You know WikiLeaks. Correct or not? Why happened WikiLeaks? People tap in. You're using, I don't want to say that, but hopefully WhatsApp don't kill me to say that. They say got encryption. Do you think really got encryption? I don't want to say that for you to go and check. So people are claiming they got encryption. It's not really encryption because they want to satisfy people. Did you ever go and check WhatsApp's encryption? Have you tested? Have you done research? No. Go and do it. So IPsec, when IPv6 was built, we got IPsec is mandatory because IPv4 got problem. IPv6 we move. We build IPsec. But problem with IPsec, you need IP address in order to get IPsec. So before even a node can connect your, IP address means your device connected to internet. No IP address, there's attacker there. This is what we call bootstrap problem. Your network's already exposed. That's why my students all do a lot of these problems, research. IPsec is a solution. Everybody use IPsec, but before you even get IP, the attack is already taking place. So that's why we need to stop all this thing. There's new research, new way of assigning IP. Simplify routing. IPv6 is simplified. That's why in IPv6, all the routing, just do routing only, routers, doesn't do processing. That's why MTU, all of you know MTU, routers, minimum 1250, maximum 15005. If anything above, it will say packet to bit error. That's why this morning my student presenting the Vimalrich packet to bit attack. So in IPv4, all the fragmentation done on the router. In IPv6, all done on the host, not on the router, because we want router to work as a router. That's it. Don't do too many things. That's why outsourcing today. Everything outsourced. From dinner to wedding, everything outsourced. From the death. Today somebody died, no need to prepare anything. You just tell the caller, parlor. Parlor do everything. From A to until he's burned. So today everybody is going to outsource. So coming to IPv6. So now we are talking about edge computing, edge sensors. Everything is edge sensors. So IPv6 enable edge sensors and actuators. So this is what industrial IoT all about. We want to connect to the edge sensors. So no more centralization. We go to distributed. Processing all done remote. Like one of my students doing a project. It's about health monitoring. COVID. When you have a COVID, positive only is send message. Not every time sending the data. Because when you keep sending, you take up bandwidth, you need a lot, processing is a lot. So we are going edge computing. Today, everybody is talking about edge computing. Okay. Now, intelligent IPv6 router and gateway does it. Cloud, today cloud, you should know cloud. Zero trust encrypted communication. Using IPv6, okay? Today, we cannot trust anything. Today, the biggest challenge in networking, we can't trust anybody. This company claim I've done this kind of level of encryption. How do you know? How you can verify unless you do a test bed? Understand now? You go and test it, you're a research student, you run it, then you can prove them wrong. If somebody want to prove WhatsApp wrong, please do some research. You can do. So security, always questionable, how secure you are. Security is a big question. Are we really secure? Are we secure in this world? Is this world secure? Not secure. Look at what I've done to the world. Sustainable development goal. We're killing the trees. We're killing the nature in the name of technology. But do we have another world? Of course, Elon Musk trying Mars, but still not ready. Even now, he's losing his job. So this is the beautiful world. That's why we now, everything you do research, we talk about sustainable development goal. Make sure renewable energy, don't use up Mother Earth, kill Mother Earth, plant trees. I know you're a technology guy, but make sure that technology that you use are green technology. Even website, you must use green website. Any technology that you use must use low energy. That's why everything we talk about renewable energy, we talk about IoT, all these things pointing to one finger, make the world better. So that is, it should be the knowledge. So real-time enabled robotic arms, we use robots. Why? Why we want to endanger human being? So that's another technology. We want to use robots. That's why robots are very important. Today, people even don't want to get married. Do you know people don't want to get married? What is the problem getting married? Huh? You married, let's say two people married. I always see movies. Even like when on the flying from Malaysia, I was showing one Tamil movie. Husband and wife fighting. Today, people don't want to get to marry. Like my daughter says, I don't want to get married, looking at the problems. They said they need companion can listen. So robots can listen to you. Correct or not? So today robots become, let's say AI comes in play. You can ask AI. You tell, I was teaching one of the school students, ask AI, I want to kill you. I want to kill somebody, my friend. I send this. They said, I write, I want to kill my friend. You know what AI told me? You try. Have you tried AI? You know what the AI said? Please hold on. Don't get angry. One of my friends doing PhD in my university, you know what is topic? Using IT, how to solve marriage problems. Today, marriages are big a headache. So it's very interesting to look at this. I can go on and go on. Huh? Okay. So IT is everywhere. I think because it is 24/7, he works. You no need overtime, no need to pay him pension, nothing. Correct or not? Today you are my employee, tomorrow you are sick, your job is pending. I replace you with the robots. 25/7 and cost production go down. Right? Today, what is the new business model you know now? You need a multiple knowledge. Today you want to become IT engineer, there's no security engineer per se. One person handles 10 things. You must know security, you must know virus, you must know how what is the database working. So this is a new dimension. That's why AI is coming in. AI is taking away jobs. So tomorrow you are not prepared for the job, you don't know how to use the tool. Like you, when I'm as a lecturer, I use AI tool to correct papers. Do you know that? But I don't trust 100% AI. I run the paper, you provide feedback. Then why I want to think too much? I write feedback. So when I got idea, I throw into the AI. See, anybody has this. Sometimes AI can lie. Be careful. But I use it AI in more correct manner. So this is all important. Legacy system, okay? Transition. So we are talking about legacy system in IPv4. IPv4 is dawn technology. Why you want to still support IPv4? Only reason we want to go to IPv6 is we don't want. In the US, they came up by 2025, all government go to IPv6 only. I mean, buying equipment support IPv6 only, not IPv4. You know why? Cost. Why you want to support two costs? Use waste of time. So what is the issue? Training gaps. Why you do not know? Because you are not trained. You do not know what is how important is IPv6 for the world. You do not know. If no training, they cannot do. Vendor support inconsistent. You understand now? The support is not there. Vendor support means you ask something new, they say cannot support. The one I was 3 weeks ago in India. I was actually doing training and conduct talk as well, like similar talk on IPv6 and training. Reliance Jio. Reliance Jio is the #1 ISP IPv6. And I'm surprised to note that they're the largest test lab in the world. Pre-equipment, because they're running all on IPv6 compared to many countries. They have collected all devices and testing. They don't even trust the testers. You know, there are certain companies out there, they're testing the device. They bring their own product, they test it end to end. Like I said, WhatsApp is secure. Is it really secure? Don't trust. So being a security person, first rule, don't trust anyone. Don't trust anything. Then only you can become a security guy. Then you build the case. Then can trust. Okay. So I should go on. Then global momentum. Everywhere, IPv6 mandated in public infrastructure. So a lot of governments are like in Malaysia, we are making a firm by 2030. You have devices, you're coming from Pakistan to Malaysia, you are coming your phone, you say you want to use IPv4, sorry, you have to buy IPv6 phones. We don't support IPv4. This is a firm decision from our country. Okay, so Malaysia is happening, India is doing it big way. India, very interesting, 3 weeks ago I was there, talking to the Reliance, and they're doing big way and they're making big impact. So a lot of work is going on. Industrial alliance like NIDA. That's why NIDA is very important. Please join NIDA. You know why? Most of the standard body, they're not open. Today, one of the biggest challenge, you know what now? Open standard. Everybody got your own thing to stream. Oh, you want to connect with India? You must buy my device now. So the world is now just skewed to one area. So as an academic, I'm not supporting anyone, any bloc. I'm not politician, but I want the world to benefit. That is my intention. As a researcher, the benefit should goes to the people. So 5G deliver ultra low reliability. This 5G is the way derived. IoT generate massive. IoT is the way forward. Okay, handle security, direct communication. Together, they enable smart grid, autonomous fleet, and intelligent factories. So today, you don't know IPv6, you can't even work in the factory. So this is my university. We do a lot of latest technology, IPv6 research. This morning, my student present that product not available in the marketplace. This is something that we are looking at. New things for the market. And addressing new, because remember, everybody is going to go IPv6 alone, no IPv4. So that product detects IPv6 issues and trains students on IPv6 to understand. Do you know how TCP work? How it works? Yeah. How UDP work? What is handshake? Okay, yeah. They call it synchronous handshake, all this thing. Simple as that. What is TCP, UDP different? Talk in normal terms. Let's say your brother asks you, what do you want to tell? TCP is what? Even you talk that way, your brother doesn't understand. TCP is I send to you, you acknowledge, you receive. Then only I send the next packet. Your brother will understand it now. UDP, I keep on sending, whether you receive or don't send. This is registered post and normal letter. This is the difference. Okay, this is the way. So we work with the collaboration with a lot of people. Now we are signing up with NIDA also. The next, we want to put the NIDA name later. Okay, we haven't signed yet, so I haven't get up. Okay, we are doing it. We are doing test bed, prototyping. Okay, now so in order for you to go audit IPv6 readiness, everybody want to IoT, so you need to audit readiness or whether you're. That's why I see the hotel just now. I do a demo. How to do a conference is here. I don't recommend. You're teaching IPv6. We are talking about advanced number. We don't support. So again, readiness need to be done. Collaborate standardization, like what NIDA does it, open architecture. Everybody is open concept. 5G is good. Let me tell you one thing. It's a 5G is a good solution. But 75, like in Malaysia, 75% of the companies are earning 500 to 5 million. By using 5G from Siemens and all these things, the cost itself very big, because today what customer want is cheaper. Any technology you introduce, make it cheaper, fast to market. No cheaper, nobody wants. That's why the thing. Performance, cheaper, right? And as guaranteed. Can you guarantee or not? So, final message, please learn IPv6. IPv6, nothing new, started 99. Now almost 25 years is there already. Another 5 years, you won't be hearing IPv4. If your university is still teaching IPv4, tell them to change the syllabus. If they need advice, ask them to come and see me. So you have to teach IPv6 and give project on IPv6 so that students are familiar. And basically, it gives you scalable, secure, intelligent automation. The next internet begins with IPv6. This morning, Mr. Lee Kun has shared with you IPv6. Now we are talking about IPv6 enhanced, not talking about IPv6 again. Next level. So we have to move fast. Okay. So with that, thank you very much for your time. I think my two speakers are already there, I think. Okay. Any questions? Otherwise, I can let my other speakers to speak. Anything you want to learn? If you want to discuss IPv6 later, you can see me. I think I don't want because time is running out. You still always can ask the question. Okay, I hand it over to Zah, are you there?
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much, Doctor. So now we have the Dr. Muhammad Ashraf, and the chair of the Capacity Building Working Group under the Malaysia National IPv6 Task Group. He is leading expert in IPv6, 5G, and cybersecurity training across the region. He will present on national human resource planning for IPv6 only adoption. Dr. Ashraf, you may start your presentation.
Thank you, Uza. First of all, I would like to convey my heartfelt appreciation for the APAN, as well as specifically the IPv6 and 5G working group led by Dr. Navaneethan. So am I audible? Is my voice clear to everybody?
Yes, great.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Fantastic. Dr. Nava, how many do you have on site with you in the room? Okay. Good morning and good morning to everyone. So before I begin, let me just introduce a little bit about myself. My name is Dr. Muhammad Ashraf. I am the Director for Training and Consultancy from IPv6 Forum Malaysia. And I'm also currently the lead for the Engagement and Capacity Building Working Group under the IPv6 Adoption Task Force, which was set up by the Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission, MCMC. So the topic that I'm going to share about today is the National Human Resource Planning for IPv6 only adoption. So I won't take too much of your time. It'll maybe be about 10 to 15 minutes presentation. And by no means is this the comprehensive plan or the detailed plan of what the working group is planning to do. It's meant to be more of sharing about our high-level framework that we intend to execute over the next 3 years. So let me just share my slide. Are you able to see it? Is it in the presentation mode or still in the window mode?
Yeah, can you change it to presentation mode?
Yeah, how about now?
No, still in the slide mode.
Okay,
still
just
in
a
the...
while. Okay, how about now?
No. Oh, okay, now.
All right,
Oh, okay.
okay. So let me just get right into it. The title is National Human Resource Planning for IPv6 Only Adoption. So as some of you might be aware, especially those in Malaysia, MCMC has recently published their public consultation paper findings. During April or so, they disseminated a public consultation paper with regards to the government's plan of adopting a fully IPv6 network, a fully IPv6 network. So based on that public consultation paper, what they have come to the conclusion, or the decision that has been made going forward, is Malaysia as a country is to go for a 100% IPv6 only adoption by the year 2030. So that gives about a 5-year runway for government agencies, for ISPs, for SMEs, and also for the general public to fully adopt and embrace IPv6. So in order to accomplish this, there has been 4 working groups which are set up under the IPv6 Adoption Task Force. So the 4 working groups consist of the technical and infrastructure, the policy and regulatory, which Dr. Nava is also a part of, the financial and sustainability working group, as well as the engagement and capacity building working group. So the engagement and capacity building working group is the working group which I am leading currently. So the purpose or the foundation of shifting to IPv6 that we must all be aware of, and probably might not be so apparent or so obvious, is that the shift to IPv6 is not merely just a technical shift. What's more important, and sometimes the bigger challenge, is actually in the human resource and ecosystem readiness. Because when it gets down to the gist of the work, you can have all your equipment ready, you can have all your technical infrastructure ready, but if the personnel or if the teams that are going to execute it are not embracing it fully and are not motivated, then your execution and your deployment becomes staggered or becomes challenging. It becomes more time consuming. You will face longer deployment times and so on. So our goal in the engagement and capacity building working group is, first and foremost, creating a holistic IPv6 ecosystem. And this IPv6 ecosystem has to be supported by skilled, certified, and motivated personnel. These 3 keywords are very important, because not only do we have to make sure that the people on the ground doing the deployment and doing the adoption are skilled, they also have to be professionally certified and accredited. That's the only way for us to ensure consistency and some level of standards are being met throughout the deployment process. And even if they are skilled, even if they are professionally certified and accredited, they have to also be motivated enough to carry out the work. If the technical people on the ground and if the management people who are the decision makers on the ground are not motivated to embrace this, then you're going to have a problem. Okay, so our goal in the engagement and capacity building working group is to launch and to execute a framework and action plan that will lead to skilled, certified, and motivated personnel who are involved in the IPv6 only adoption. So how do we plan to execute this action plan? There is 4 main pillars which we have identified and we have developed. So the first pillar is awareness and outreach. The second is through training and certification. The third is through a measurement and reporting mechanism. And the fourth is through recognition and awards of the relevant individuals. So let's go through the 4 pillars one by one. So first and foremost is awareness and outreach. When you talk about IPv6 only, half the battle is actually convincing people why IPv6 only is the way to go, right? A lot of people will be proponents of a dual stack infrastructure and proponents of, or along the mindset of, why do you fix what's not broken, kind of, right? So the first half of the battle is actually to convince and to sort of put it almost as like a sales pitch kind of scenario, whereby we need to influence people on the ground, the decision makers, the people who are in the technical team, why IPv6 only is the way to go forward. And of course, there's a lot of benefits. There's a lot of, advantages that IPv6 only brings for a network ecosystem, right? Dr. Nava has covered some of it also. It leads to business continuity management, and it also leads to a more efficient network performance, which in turn leads to better revenue and better profitability lah, when there are minimal downtime, when the network infrastructure management is more streamlined. So all those things are actually the points that we have to drive home when we do this awareness and outreach, because this will determine whether the rest of the plan can be executed well or not. Yeah. So the target groups which we aim and we target during this awareness and outreach campaigns are, of course, the IT and telecommunications professionals themselves, either from telco, either from the what do you call that, SIs, or even the periphery of the telecommunications ecosystem as well. Next is the multinational corporations and the small and medium enterprises, because they are going to be the ones who are the major customers of these telcos, and they have their own internal networks which they have to beef up with to become IPv6 only as well. And then last but not least is the general public. So what are the means or what are the mechanisms of outreach that we plan to deploy? Number one is through definitely digital media campaigns, because since IPv6 is a digital technology, internet protocol, it makes sense for the touch points for the customer to be through digital campaigns and digital marketing. So we are talking about small snippets, small videos, which we play at certain strategic locations, certain peak times during the TV commercials and so on, just to get the awareness and the news out there that there is such a thing called IPv6 only, what are the benefits of moving to IPv6 only, and why Malaysia as a whole should take this on as a mission for us to move towards IPv6 only. Number two is through introducing something called the annual IPv6 Day. So when you have a designated day that celebrates IPv6 only adoption, then it becomes a national campaign, or it becomes a national initiative that everybody from the top down can get behind. Number three is to embed the information regarding the campaign into consumer touchpoints. So for example, the telco bills that you receive every month, there will be a QR code there that the customer can scan and can find out more information about what we are doing in terms of moving towards IPv6 only. There will be mini tutorial videos. How does the consumer test or see if their devices support IPv6 or not? So all those little but impactful messages and digital marketing will be there for the consumers. Like what I said, number four is IPv6 device compatibility test and awareness. So it is both a top-down and also a bottom-up approach, where we do want to focus on the decision makers and the technical teams who will do the deployment. But at the consumer level also, we have to, in parallel, make them aware that they need to upgrade or they need to bring their mentality and mindset towards an IPv6 only adoption, because it is only going to benefit them in the long run. So for this purpose, the collaborators that we will work with include MCMC themselves, the telcos and ISPs, the tech vendors who are providing the equipment. We're talking about the Ciscos, the Huawei, the Junipers, Ryuji, and so on, as well as key opinion leaders and social media influencers. So through these channels, we can make sure that the information is propagated in a very wide and also deep vertical throughout the nation. Number two, we also definitely are emphasizing on the training and certification aspect. So like I said, the training and certification is more so on the people in the industry themselves. So you're talking about IT and telco professionals, both in the management roles and also in the technical roles, as well as in MNCs and SMEs, also universities and TVET institutions. So for universities and TVET institutions, the aim is to include this as part of their syllabus and curriculum. Like Dr. Nava was saying, it doesn't make sense for any institution to be teaching their students about IPv4 anymore, right? So we have to embed and integrate IPv6 into the university and TVET institutions curriculum, so that the incoming pool of professionals in this industry will be fully knowledgeable in the latest protocol, in the latest IPv6. They will not be left behind, and there will not be any knowledge gap there. So the way we want to execute this training and certification is through an industry recognized and vendor neutral certification. So for that purpose, we are adopting the IPv6 Forum's Education Certification Program. So there's multiple tracks in this program. There's IPv6 for management, there's Certified Network Engineer for IPv6, Certified Security Engineer for IPv6, and of course, there's levels to it. Right? There's a silver level, gold level, and of course, the trainer level. So these two tracks, or these Forum Education Certification Program, is what we will use as the framework, as the backbone of the training and certification programs that we roll out. And for the collaborators, we need to work with the agencies that foresee the relevant organizations under them. So for example, for government agencies, it would be the National Digital Department under the Ministry of Digital. And for the SMEs, it would be the SME Corporation. And because this is a training and certification program, we are working with HRD Corporation, which is the Human Resource Development Corporation, to create this as a separate, or what do you call that, special track for the employers to be able to claim their HRD Corp levy through this training and certification. Okay. Yeah, this is just some examples of the training and certification programs we conduct. So actually, next week itself, we are already starting with this. So for Certified Network Engineer for IPv6, next week we are actually co-hosting it with MMU, the Department of Computing and Informatics, from the 4th to 7th of August. So that will be a Certified Network Engineer for IPv6 Silver. And then, of course, 2 weeks after that will be the Certified Security Engineer for IPv6. So if there's anyone who is in this meeting today, in this session today, who is interested, definitely can either go to the website, scan the QR code, or get in touch with Dr. Nava or myself, and you will be able to join this program that we are conducting. Okay, third is in terms of measurement and reporting, because as the saying goes, only things that are measured can get improved, or what gets measured gets improved. So in terms of our engagement and capacity building, definitely there has to be some parameters that we track. So in order to make this more exciting and more relevant and what do you call that, attractive for the general public as well as for the MNCs and SMEs, we are going to develop a dashboard of sorts. So there will be two types of dashboards, one which portrays the overall national adoption statistics, IPv6 only, how is it going in Malaysia, what's the percentage, how are we progressing month over month, and so on, as well as a sector-specific type of ranking. So this sector-specific ranking is meant more so to motivate and to incentivize these companies to become the early adopters or the first adopters, as well as sort of give them some sort of recognition and award, which I'll be covering in the next slide. So these figures and these parameters will be measured on a quarterly basis, and it will be updated on a publicly accessible website. So from there, we'll be able to track how are the ISPs moving along, how are the government agencies moving along, and also on the private sector as well with the MNCs and SMEs. So overall, it aims to be a one-stop center or one-stop resource center for not only the public, but also for the task force itself to upload their findings and to upload their benchmarking and KPIs. Yeah? And last but not least is actually in terms of recognition and awards. So as with any new project or any new deployment, we need to find a way to sustain and maintain the stakeholders' interest and the stakeholders' level of motivation, right? We don't want something to be carried out and executed well in the first quarter, second quarter, but then die off in the remaining of the year. So to ensure that the stakeholders can be maintained in terms of their motivation and their excitement level, we are going to introduce recognition and awards for IPv6 only adoption. Like I said, it is to recognize and to incentivize the early adopters among the target groups. So there will be a few categories such as ISPs, government agencies, as well as the private sector as well, comprising of MNCs and SMEs. So how do we measure this, or how do we award and recognize these organizations? It is actually through the parameters that we measured earlier through action pillar number 3 just now, measurement and reporting. So from the top 3 or top 5 organizations in those measurements, then we will award them some sort of recognition in terms of the certificate and award itself. But also we are thinking along the lines of some form of tax incentive or some sort of financial incentive so that they can actually, apart from just branding and marketing themselves as an IPv6 only ready organization, they are also getting something in terms of their bottom line. So whether it be tax incentive, whether it be some sort of grant or something, that is what is in the works currently in the working group. So for this, definitely we are working with the MCMC themselves, as well as the National Digital Department for government agencies. And for the private sector, we will be working with the SME Corporation in order to launch and in order to implement this recognition and awards mechanism. So what we have so far in terms of the road mapping, the working group has just finished our discussion about 2-3 weeks ago. We are putting this plan in paper, and once it's been approved by the powers that be, then we are going to move forward with the execution of these plans. But definitely, like you can see, the few initiatives which are within our capacity, for example, the training and certification, we are already launching that by next week itself. So the aim is to have a phased approach, to have a very much focused and tiered approach. We know we can't do or we can't get everybody trained overnight, but at the very least, we need to start the ball rolling. And hopefully by the end of 2025, there will be more traction in terms of the batches that we do for the training and certification. And from 2026 onward, it is going to be more of a consistent, maybe bi-monthly event that not only the public sector, but also the private sector is able to join and ensure that their organizations are ready for this incoming transition. Yeah. Okay, so that is all from me. I think we can maybe, I don't know if there's enough time for questions because it's already 12 and there's another speaker. I think I'll just pass it back to Zar for the time being. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Doctor. So the next speaker is the Dr. Muhammad Hafiz is there.
Yes. Can you
Okay. So let us now welcome Dr. Muhammad Hafiz. You may start your presentation.
Okay, let me share my screen. Okay. Well, do you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes, see.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you, Zar, Dr. Ashraf, Dr. Nava, everybody. Good morning or good afternoon. I'll be talking about in very short time about our experience building a 5G lab for research and innovation purposes with a practical guide that I think every participant here able to follow to build a lab for this purpose or any other purpose. Well, I will be talking mainly about the lab and then the components, diagrams, and what are the softwares used to build the labs where all the participants in this call can get benefit and follow for regardless what is the purpose of. Well, I think you come across 5G in general that come out with enhanced features in terms of performance, low latency that to drive different type of industries. I won't be talking about what is 5G and what it can provide in terms of quality and performance and bandwidth, low latency, and so on. But rather just a general overview what's 5G and it is impact um, in these three types of industries. Well, so when we start thinking about building a lab for 5G lab, it was for main reasons to build a suitable environment for research and development, and also to test use cases that can be commercialized, for example. And that's mainly the purpose of building the lab. Okay, to look at use cases, to build a test environment for research and development in general. Well, so how we started, we have mainly two components. The core network, which is right now is software and it is standard. We are lucky that right now we have a lot of open source that we can modify for our own purposes as we wish. And the radio part, we worked definitely with a vendor that specialized in this area. So regarding the core network, we have decided to use a software called Open 5GS. It is an open source core 5G core network, and it support both standalone and non-standalone 5G. That means it can also support 4G as well. And it is standardized and built based on 3GPP 15 and above. So it is standard, which means if the core network, if the run standard 3GPP, then it will work. It's supposed to work, but still we have some few interoperability issues that we need to consider when it comes to real integration and putting all the components in place. And also we face that actually, we face some challenges about that. So the main components, we have the 5GS, that's for the core, played a significant, most important role in the core network that provide the MF, UPF, the basic functions that required to make 5G works. But when it comes to the user end and the core network, the user end and RAID network, we used Nanolink, and it is produced by a company in the US, but production line in China. And the vendor support us with necessary technical requirements, and actually they allocated also technical personnel to give us an idea how their RAN working. And this is GNB, belong to them. Also, regarding the SIM card, we have purchased this specific SIM card from this company, Sysmocom, and we use this reader, normal reader. I think it's very common here in Malaysia, used normally to read the normal IC. And phone or the hands-on or user end, we used 190, which is support the same band that we use in our lab, which is 7.8. We use 7.8 standalone. Okay, this is the actual component, and this is the actual physical component. But rather than build everything based on a physical, but that may not give us a good chance to study the radio interface or the RF interfacing between the user end and the GNB. So we build two types of RAN. We build a virtual RAN based on open source, and we build a physical RAN that use physical equipment. So the virtual RAN, it works together using the same core network, same configuration, but it will give us, the virtual RAN will give us ability to keep monitoring and looking into the signaling that happened between the user end and the RAN network, which is way important, and give us ability also to study the 5G from that level. And this is what we come out with, the signaling, the actual signaling that happened between the user end and the GMB until it get successfully authenticated by the core network, and then allocating the necessary resources according to the configuration for that particular user end. This is the lab, and every single software used in this lab is open source and available online. You can easily download and use for any purpose, including SIM card programming, but not any SIM card can be programmed unless it is open and used for that, is designed for this purpose specifically. This is the actual log when we have connected the device and that joined the network with a specific network name that you can see here. And that's how the GMB talk to the user end. For your information, in this use case, we have not enabled IPv6 since we are just looking for the 5G to be functioning, but it's supported by the core network as well by the RAN side. The lab was designed and built at NLTVC Education, which is a leading institute that leading also IPv6 education here in Malaysia, and NIPSIS, which is our partner or vendor that support us in terms of specifically for the radio part. Thank you.
Okay. Any question here?
Okay. Any question to Hafiz? Dr. Hafiz? Dr. Hafiz does a lot of work in the area of 5G. So we have remember I was talking to you, 5G is very costly and so on. So we have tested now. That's what I asked Hafiz to talk about. We have tested 5G is the way forward. Correct? And in industry, not everybody is MNC company, only 10%. I think every company, including China, I think only 10%, 20% is MNCs, which can afford the technology. So what I'm saying, today we need to have a technology that is affordable, cheaper, right? Those days, when you fly, let's see, you came from Pakistan, isn't it? You're a fellow or you're a fellow? So what airline you took? Which airline? Don't get it wrong. Thai Airways. Why you didn't choose probably other airways, budget line? Like today we are using budget airline. Why? Budget airline allows us to travel cheap. Correct enough. So allowed to travel. When people travel, they learn. But those days when you try, like this time I took Cathay 50, came in. So different airline, sometimes you travel budget airline. Budget airline, no food, nothing. Some people want to enjoy life. You know, some people say, I just want to travel. I don't need anything. So it's all individualistic. Okay, technology is something like that. For my view, as a researcher, technology must make people happy. If you have that in mind, you'll become a Nobel person. Then you can win a Nobel Prize. Do you know why people win Nobel Prize? Huh? Why people give you Nobel Prize? Innovation. Do you think it's just innovation? Okay, you got Miss Universe. People got Miss Universe or Miss World. Why? Huh? Top of all. So that's why you all must go and study criteria to become Miss World or Mr. World. I don't know, they only have Miss World. Why not Mr. World? You know why? They don't just give looking at beauty. But beauty is not in the fit. If you're, don't get it wrong, I'm not feminist or whatever. If you're dark look, is it not beauty? No. Fair only beauty, blonde is beauty. That's our definition. But Miss Universe, when you go to contest, besides showing your body fit, why they show you your body fit? They teach you to keep your body fit. Because in sound mind, body related. That's why don't get in Miss World wrong. Then in Miss World, when you win the title, they will ask question. Like I asked the question, how is technology going to help? Okay, you have this knowledge. Somebody can answer smart, and that's only they choose. As there's a lot of category of choosing, not just look, not only the how nice is your leg, thighs, and all these things. No, overall. So we have to solve character building. So you have to use technology for character building. That's why today every research topic they come in because sustainable goal. Like why use IPv6? What is the goal? What is the goal today? IPv6. Why we want to use IPv6? Can you relate that to a sustainable development goal? SDG. Have you heard of SDG? Correct or not? Where are you from, sir? Huh? Okay, you originally was Bangladesh. What was my question just now? Yeah, why we all now every research we map it as because we want to make world as a better place, right? So that whatever you come out, any idea, IPv6, I tell you, you might be laughing. I think probably you've not heard about it. Remember I told you routing, Clover. What routing got to do with economy? Anybody ever thought about what routing technology got to do with relation to the human? Because you know technology is enabler, correct or not? We are using technology to enable so that humans don't suffer. Happy life. Ultimately, we have to make everybody happy. Correct or not? Today, WhatsApp immediately can connect everywhere in the world. Correct or not? All these are technology to make people happy. Today, can you afford to call long distance call IDD from Bangladesh, Pakistan? You know how much it costs? Today you got WhatsApp free. All these are technology to human. Why IPv6 routing better? Because when routing is better, less power used by router. When less power is used, renewable energy. Do you understand the logic? The more now the world we are moving, we are killing the world. That's why everybody will talk about green effect and all these things. The more IT equipment we're using, more carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide going, killing the earth, ozone, all this. So we are not talking about green computing. So IPv6 is a green computing. Why? It reduces the router process, it reduces the power. Like your phone. If you don't use connect internet, you just normal battery, what will happen? So that's why it's all interesting. So end of the day, when you learn knowledge, it's for benefit of mankind. You come here not just getting pass or get degree from work. We have to contribute back to the world. That's why today, even my university, you sign up for PhD or masters, you must tell how is your topic related to SDG, human empowerment, equal rights. All this require open. That's why we talk about open standard. Why we need open standard? So that people make happy. We don't want people to get angry. As I showed you just now, one of my friends doing research to make family, he's using IT research, make husband and wife, so don't get divorced. How to make love. So this is where the technology all about. So again, you have to map it to that. Okay. So with that, we end the session. All right. Is there any question you want to ask anybody regarding this topic? I know it's a kind of different scenario here, mixed with with technology, humanizing technology. So obviously, humanizing technology. Any question? If no question, now we're going to do a lot of collaboration again, making love. IPv6 for APAN, making love with NIDA. Why you want to make love? Signing collaboration, MOU. Why you're signing? So that we work together to bring the better thing. So next time, NIDA is doing great job. So APAN IPv6 working group, We are signing up with them so that whoever attends or become member, they can expose to NIDA is mainly come out with RFC, standards. Why we need standards? Why we need standards? Anybody? I'm always a lot of questions for me. Mr. UCLA, why you need standards? Why, first of all, we need standards? Huh? You always talk on IT level. That's a plain guy. Why you need standards? Huh? Discipline? Huh? Huh? Self-expectation. You all study SI, correct? Standard. Because different people, different mindset. If you are different wavelength, I'm different wavelength. Start breaking because you are different wavelength, I'm different wavelength. We cannot come to agreement. So standards are there. Let's agree. You can go to work, come back. Your work can be CEO. At home, your wife. Don't show off. Your husband, your engineer, come back. Your normal husband, your father to children. So make sure that that standard is open. This is what called open standard in the human eyes. Everything open means people be happy. Because today, do you know a lot of attacks taking place in which OS? How many of you are security guys here? Windows. You know why? Because Bill Gates tried to conquer the world. And we IT, no, not me, don't get it wrong. Hackers, we don't like Windows. We're charging a lot, making money. So a lot of security product that you develop in Windows is less secure. This is the ethics behind it. That's why we always tell, of course, maybe Bill Gates or Microsoft might be angry with me. But the fact of life, because people are not happy, they attack. So security is just not technology, it's mindset. I talk in mindset purpose. When you talk about security, you talk about mindset. So everything is related to this. So a bit of social, a bit of this. So I will end up. Thank you very much for joining. I want to talk like this so next time you can come to Bangladesh. There's no people to join. You're going to your home. Right? Okay? So
So the sign-in ceremony.
yes. Okay. I little bit of pep talk. Now I let okay. We'll do a signing.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah. So we are now actually doing everything. I need to explain myself. So that future members of APAN who are joining this have opportunity to work with NIDA and contribute to standards. As I said, NIDA working on open standards. So we need, just now we are discussing, we need more minds, brains like you to join part of NIDA's membership so that they're exposed to the new technology. That's why we are signing.